Today we're going to be graphing a quadratic function, or we're going to be graphing parabolas. It's not going to be the funnest lesson, but we'll get through it together. I can help you as much as you want me to help you with it, okay? So let's begin. A quadratic has several different ways to be written. You can have y equals a x minus h squared plus k, or you can have a, no, I won't do that one, sorry. Like I said, there's several. I don't think we'll need what I was going to write down. Okay. It just depends on how it's written, on what kind of process that you're going to be using to be able to graph these. So on this, when it says f of x equals 8x squared, that one is this one right here. But it's an easier this one right there because there's not a b and there's not a c. You just have an a and it is 8. Because the 8 is positive, I know just through thought that the parabola is going to be opening up some way because the 8 is positive. Now, where it opens up, we don't know yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to find the vertex. To find the vertex, we're going to use x equals opposite b over 2a. Well, on this, our a is 8. Now let me show you where I'm getting that. See this a right here? The a is with the x squared, and the 8 is with the x squared. Your b is 0. Your b is with the plane x, and there is no plane x right there, so it's 0. And your c is 0, because your c doesn't have an x, and there's nothing there that doesn't have an x. So our a is 8, our b is 0, and our c is 0. You are going to want to know how to do that throughout this entire unit, so, kind of get used to it. So opposite b over 2a. Well, because b is 0, then it would be opposite 0, which is 0 over 2 times 8. It really doesn't matter because if 0 is on top, then 0 is your answer. So x equals 0. If I know that x equals 0, because I just found it, x equals 0, then I'm going to put that 0 back into the problem to be able to find y. So if y equals 8x squared, because that's the problem, 8, 0 squared, 0 times 0 is 0, and 0 times 8 is 0, then we have an x and a y, and an x and a y make a vertex. So our vertex is at 0, 0. So our instructions say, plot the vertex. Well, we know the vertex now. The vertex is at 0, 0. Then plot another point on the parabola. Now let me show you this. So we're going to plot 0, 0. IXL is going to do that. And then we have to have one more point. If we have one more point, then we are going to be finished because the IXL does everything else for you. So now we have to get another point. So to get another point, look, I don't want to use that. Look at our x from our vertex, which is at 0, 0. We want to pick a number really close to that to be able to make it hopefully fit on the graph. And so because our x from our vertex is 0, I am going to put 1 in for x into the problem. Y equals 8x squared. So y equals 8 times 1 squared. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. So when I put, different color, when I put 1 into x, I got 8 for y. So now I'm going to plot, I've plotted 0, 0, I'm going to plot 1, 8, and IXL is wonderful because we know a parabola is symmetric. So whatever's on one side of the vertex, you have it on the other side of the vertex. So IXL is going to give you that, and it's going to draw this parabola that opens up for you. Okay. Again, this is in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, because there's no parentheses. Your a is negative 8, because a is in front of the x squared and negative 8 is in front of the x squared. Your b is 0, because b is basically in the middle, and you don't have a middle. There's nothing with an x. And your c is 9, because your c doesn't have an x and 9 doesn't have an x. So we're going to use those three numbers to be able to do exactly what we just got finished doing on the first problem. We're going to find the vertex. To find the vertex, we have to find x, and to find x, we do opposite b over 2a. So opposite b is 0, so the opposite of 0 is 0 over 2 times negative 8. If 0 is on top, then 0 is what you got. So I'm halfway finished with my vertex, but I have to find y. How are we going to find y? We're going to put 0 into the problem. So y equals negative 8x squared plus 9, negative 8, 0 squared plus 9, which is going to be 9. So y equals 9, so I'm going to put the 9 right there. So our vertex is at 0, 9, which is right there. Because our a is negative, I know that this parabola is going to be opening down. You're going to want to know that throughout the entire unit, so, kind of get with it on that. And so we found the vertex, now we have to find another point. So to find another point, I'm going to look at this x, and I'm going to pick a number that's really close to that x, so I'm going to put a 1 in. So if y equals negative 8x squared plus 9, then y equals negative 8 1 squared plus 9. Y equals negative 8 plus 9 is 1, so 1, 1. And since it's symmetric, and I know where the vertex is, it's going to be right there. You don't have to do that second red point. I'm just showing you how I'm going to give that parabola shape. Now, we have y equals a x minus h squared plus k form this time. This is called vertex form. The reason it's called vertex form, I can just look at the problem and know where the vertex is without doing any work whatsoever. So the x of the vertex is opposite the h, or opposite this number. So since this is negative 5, what's the opposite of negative 5? 5. And k is just k, so that's 5. Basically, you always switch the yellow and you always keep the green. And oh my gosh, I put k, didn't I? You always switch the h, you always keep the k. So 5, 5, 5, 5, we plotted it. And now we still have to find the other point, but at least we didn't have to find the vertex. All we had to do is look at it. Again, I'm going to pick a number that's really, really close to this 5. And let's go 6. So I'm going to put 6 into the problem. So if y equals negative 6 x minus 5 squared plus 5, I'm going to put this 6 into that x because it's in the x spot. So y equals negative 6 minus 5 squared plus 1. Do the inside of the parentheses first, or put it in the calculator. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So when I put positive 6 in, I got negative 1 out. So positive 6, negative 1 is right there. So the other one's going to be right there. And it looks like that. Now again, one more thing. This A is the same as these A's. If our A is negative, then I already knew that the parabola was supposed to be going down because this number was negative. So I probably got it right. Okay, because it has a parentheses form, it's in vertex form. Let me write that down again. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. So this is vertex form, so your vertex is switching the h, so it's negative 3 over 2, keeping the k, which is 1. Don't freak out because it's a fraction. What is 3 over 2? 3 over 2 is 1 and 1/2. So this is negative 1 and 1/2. And IXL does the halves for you. So negative 1.5 and 1, it's going to be right there. It's going to be kind of awkward, but it's going to be right there. Now we're going to find another point. That's when you have fractions. It gets a little bit yuckier than normal. Let's see. So, okay, so to pick a point, everything that I've picked so far, it's been 1 away from the x of the vertex. We want to do 1 away from the x of the vertex on this one also. So if this is negative 1.5, let's put negative 1/2 in for x. I know it's kind of crazy, but because we're squaring these fractions and stuff, to kind of get rid of the fractions, we're going to put a common denominator with it. Negative 1/2 plus negative 1 over 2 plus 3 over 2 is 2 over 2, and 2 over 2 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. So when I put negative 1/2 in, I got 8, which is right there. So the other one's going to be right here. And that is the worst parallel I've ever drawn, but IXL will be better. Okay, no parentheses, so we don't have vertex form anymore. We have standard form. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Your A is 1/2. Your B is negative 9 over 2. And your C is 89 over 8. So I need to find the vertex. To find the vertex, x equals opposite b over 2a. Opposite of negative 9 over 2 is positive 9 over 2. Over 2 times a, which is 1/2. 1/2 times 2 is 1. Anything over 1 is itself. So the vertex, the x of the vertex is 9 over 2. We'll talk about that better in just a second. So we're going to put 9 over 2. I'm going to have to scrunch this because I'm going to need way more room. So we need to put this 9 over 2 back into both x's. So y equals 1/2 x squared minus 9 over 2 x plus 89 over 8. I promise you, on this one, it's way okay to be able to get a calculator if you need it. Or I'm going to do it myself. To be able to square fractions, top times top and bottom times bottom. So 9 times 9 is 81, times 1 is 81, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, minus 81 over 4, plus 89 over 8, times 2 to get a common denominator. Um, 80. 81. I kind of lost it here. 160, 170. So 8 over 8, which is 1. You may want to check my math on that. Oh, yeah, calculator. Hey, bear with me. I'm checking my math before I go any further. So 1 over 2, go over parentheses, fraction 9 over 2 over close parentheses squared minus fraction 9 over 2, go over parentheses, fraction 9 over 2, go over close your parentheses, plus fraction 89 over 8. Woohoo! Alright, so 1. Now what is 9 over 2? 9 over 2 is 4.5 because 2 goes into 9 4 times with 1 left over. So 4.5 and 1 would be right there. And so now I'm going to go over 1 to be able to get rid of that fraction. I hope. It's been a while since I've done these, if you can't tell. So I'm going to choose for my other point, I'm going to choose 3.5, which would be 7 over 2. Y equals 1 over 2, 7 over 2 squared, minus 9 over 2, 7 over 2, plus 89 over 8. This may not work out as pretty. Oh, I wish I could go in there and change it all. 1 over 2, 7 over 2 squared. Nope. Delete. Squared. Minus 9 over 2, parentheses, 7 over 2. Nope. Plus 89 over 8. 3 over 2. Okay, that'll work. Since it does halves for me. 3 over 2. 3 over 2. So this is 3.5. And this is 1.5. So 3.5. 1.5 is right there. So it's going to go like this. Right? Okay. One more. If you can bear with me. Same thing, we have to find the vertex. X equals opposite B over 2A. Well, we need to know A and B and C first. Negative 1 over 4. Negative 4. Negative 19 over 2. So opposite B would be 4 over 2 times negative 4. I want to know how If you want to know how I did that, ask me. I'll explain better. But I know most of you guys are just going to throw that into the calculator. And now to be able to find the y, we're going to put -8 in here. Because hopefully I'm right on that -8. 64, -64 over 4, -16 plus 32 minus 19 over 2, 16, 32 over 2. I'm going to check my math one more time. Opposite B, which is 4 over 2 times -1/4. -8. -8 squared times -1/4, -16 plus 32 minus 19 over 2. 13 over 2. Okay. So 13 over 2 is 6.5. So -8 and 6 and a little bit more. Now to find the next point. Because our A has a 4 on bottom, we're going to go 4 over from our X of a vertex. Okay? That's as easy as I can make it sound. So because the 4 is on bottom, that's how much we're going to go to get to the next point. So if we're at -8, we're going to put a -4 in. So -1/4, -4 squared minus 4 times -4 minus 19 over 2. That's 16 over -4, which would be -4, plus 16, which would be 12, which would be 24 minus 19, which would be 5 over 2, which is 2 over 2.5. Nope. 2.5. So -4, 2.5, -4, 2.5. A was negative, so it should be going down, and it's going to go down like that. Alright, we made it. A lot more of these lessons are not near as bad as what this one is. Bear with me, go through it, okay? Bye.